see, I moved out all the shit that I have to move out. All of this shit is built-ins. I can't move it without tearing it down. I ain't tearing it down.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I only need it to last. How much longer am I going to feel like working in the shop? Maybe fucking 20 years? I only need it to last 20 more years. Okay, now I could sweep this up. It would be quicker. Okay? It would be quicker. It would not be as effective. And I'd have to breathe all the dust.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're sweeping up 20 years of crap and not making dust. Especially when you're on a farm. Because, like, look, the chickens get in here, there's chicken feathers, there's everything. So I'm going to vacuum this all up. I'm going to check for where I've got damage. And then I'm going to tear a hole in the floor.
Yay.
So,
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's as good as I'm going to do it for right now, because, as some of you were probably saying, you're getting ready to cut a hole in the floor. Why would you vacuum it before? Because you're just going to make a bigger mess. Well, I did that because I don't want to crawl around in all that dusty nastiness.
Yes.
This is a shop building attached to a farm. The goat pasture is literally through that door, and the chicken yard is through that door. So what gets tracked through, and the dog yard is there.
Yeah.
So what gets tracked through here is every kind of pet dander known to man.
Yes.
Plus the cats live in here.
Yes.
And me and Lynn are both allergic to cat dander. So by vacuuming it up, I got that out of the way. Whatever dust I make, that I can deal with. Now, this is a huge fucking mess. Okay? And I have no way of knowing where the joists are.
Right.
Because this is tongue and groove,
Right.
and it was put in correctly, which means that the nails are finishing nails driven in there, and you can, use the magnetic thing. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right? So, but here's what I do know. When this was built, they probably used 24, not 16-inch centers. So if I measure to the outside wall, and I come in, say 4 foot for this first mark, and then 6 foot, probably should do 8 foot for the second mark. Chances are pretty good that I'm going to hit a freaking, I'm going to be close enough to one of the existing joists to do what I plan to do. We will see. You never fucking know in an old building because you literally have no way of knowing what's underneath it. And like I said, people say, well, use the magnetic laser, blah, 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 fuckity fuck fuck. Yeah. I don't have one of those.
Nope.
And I ain't gonna go buy one. Because again, in case you forgot in the last few minutes, I'm fucking broke. Okay, so I'm making 2 marks. So that I can make a line to cut.
Right.
And to cut, I'm not gonna use, to cut on that floor, being blind as a bat, I'm not going to use my pencil to mark it.
You're not.
I use my pencil to mark it now, but I'm realizing, I can barely see that. Starts to get old. Len's taking a picture of my ass again.
Actually,
no, you're
sideways.
on the wrong side.
Sideways. Ha 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 ha.
Now somewhere, let me see where it is. And this is how you spend most of your projects, running around looking for shit. I need that bucket that's behind you.
Okay, I'm going to turn off for a second.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I went and got a yellow pencil. I would have rather had chalk, but as you might guess, the chalk's at the other place. And as we already know about me, I'm too fucking lazy to go over there. This is how we know that I'm a trans man. Because I must be a man. Because only a fucking man would work harder because they don't want to make a 2-minute trip to another shop. So we'll do 6 hours of work to keep from going after another tool. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do. All right.
That was a pencil sharpener she pulled out of there.
Yeah,
just in
that
case.
was a carpenter's pencil sharpener, which means that it not only does these, but it'll do the square ones. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to find my marks again. I'm going to make sure that I'm marking the same area as before. And as you can see, using these yellow pencils, which Lynn got at school when people threw them away.
Yes.
That's right. I taught my wife to pick shit with the chickens too. She used to be very classy. Now she's like, are you going to eat all that? Are you throwing that away?
Our chickens will eat it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Our dogs would have that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. She used to be really classy.
That's how we built that barn, the first barn we built.
Yep.
I found a fireworks stand that had been blown down and asked them what they were doing with it. And they let us salvage it if we got it within a certain amount of time.
An hour.
Yeah, we had to get it within an hour because he was paying somebody to come get it. If we could get it within an hour, we could have it for free.
We could have it. So we showed up. I'm sure that they were like, yeah, those two women. I was like, bullshit. Us and Meyer. Meyer was a little boy. And
Some of the tin and some of the wood is on the new barn she built
Yeah.
over here. Yeah?
hell, that shit's everywhere now.
Yeah, it is. It's all over.
Okay. So, now I'm going to take my skill saw, which used to be the only saw I had, by the way, forever, and which I'm now afraid to use because I tried to cut my thumb off with it, but that's another story for another day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is walk in the other room
And keep
come back
talking
with the cord.
because she has to go get a cord.
It's not long enough. Okay. I like to have lots of cord because not having too short a cord will fuck you over damn near every time. Okay. Now, this is ancient tongue and groove board. What do I know about tongue and groove board? The tongue and groove board, ancient stuff, is about the same width as the piece of 1x is today.
Right, because it was dimensional.
Yes. So, I need to find a piece of 1x. You can turn that off for a minute.
Okay, you can tell them what you did?
Okay, so how do I want to set this blade so that it goes through the wood, but if my joist is there and it's not eat up with bugs and it can be salvaged, that I don't cut into it so deeply that it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
So, how do I set it? Okay, so you take your skill saw, and I'm sure some of you are going, I would just use a gauge, and measure it. Fuck you people! What did I tell you? Measuring's for fucks! Okay, so take a little thingy, pick it up like that. Okay, now, this is much easier for those of us who are like, fuck that shit. Okay, now take that, I loosen that part, push my thing all the way down. My thing all the way down, I said! Okay, when you have the deck where you want it, then you lock it in place. Okay? And you're ready to saw. Okay. So what I did was I basically used the wood as a template to get the depth I
The
want.
depth you wanted on the saw.
And we won't know till we cut through whether it's correct or not.
Notice,
But this is my freaking shop!
notice she's just now plugging in. Cause
I
that's
just now
this,
plugged
yeah,
in.
yeah. And why do you tie that knot?
I think I've told them before, but I do that so it doesn't pull out accidentally.
Okay.
And you don't ever want to make that tight though, because whenever you do that, it makes it hot at that point. So you don't want to tie it tight. You just want to do it tight enough that it's not going to pull out. Okay, so I'm going to start this, and then while I'm doing it, I'm going to have her turn off because it's loud.
Yes.
But I want to start it and show you what to do. Okay, like I said, I've been afraid of the skill saw ever since I damn near cut my thumb off, but okay, you have to pull up the safety to do this. Don't put anything behind it. Once you break through the board, the minute you do that, let go of the safety
Oh, yes.
so that it comes down, because then you don't have to worry about kickback so much. And this kind of job, this is when it wants to kick back. How did I almost cut my thumb back off? On kickback.
Okay.
So, okay, that's good. Okay, so I cut through most of that by standing over there. But now, I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't want to be standing over there. Okay? So I'm going to stand on the outside, which is actually more dangerous. So now I'm going to think, because I just realized that's more dangerous. So I'm going to put 1 foot here and 1 foot here.
You are on.
Okay, I'm still on.
You're still on.
All right, so now's the moment of truth. I have to go get some more tools, of course.
Well, I'll be back and we'll see, right?